Hi, everybody, and welcome to AI Future State. I'm your host, Liz Imperial, and I'm really excited and happy to have Mariah Gates here today. She is the CEO and founder of Accelerated Automation, and she has a huge background in insurance, over 19 years of experience in finance and insurance. You were an agency owner, and now you have reached this level in your career where you're a CEO and founder, taking your experience, making it your own, and creating your own company. So, really excited to have you here today. And thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Liz, for having me. I'm excited to be here. It's just always a fun topic.
Yeah.
AI, of course, just ever changing. So super excited to be here.
Thank you. So, tell us a little bit about your journey. It's definitely inspiring to meet a woman CEO. And, it's in insurance and a lot of industries, people feel that it's a boys' club at times, and there's different types of hurdles and challenges that a woman might face in her career. So, to start from the beginning and to end as a CEO, and, who knows where your future is going to take you, is definitely really inspiring. So, do you mind sharing a little bit about your experience from insurance agent, let's say, to where you are now?
Yeah, of course. It's been such a wild ride. And of course, only through the grace of God that I've been on this journey. I absolutely love sharing it. So I got into the insurance industry after being in the banking industry for 10 years, and I was recruited into insurance. And I know a lot of people that have, taken that path from banking into insurance, a lot of similarities there. And in the banking industry, I was working at Chase, and they were a constant innovator of new technologies. They had very clear processes, systems, traveled all over the country for training. They really invested in their people. And I got into the insurance space, and I found as an agency owner, because that's what I did, I jumped in. I did not work at an agency first, which I wish I would have now. Now, when I talk to people about it, I say, go work at an agency for a while before you own one. But I didn't do that. So I realized, of course, nobody was going to invest in me and my learning and teach me really how to run my agency. I was a captive agent and there was support, but it was pretty limited. The technology in the insurance space also, very behind in consideration to what I was used to in banking. So got into insurance, was doing everything very manual. My mentors were teaching me how to keep track of things on paper and all sorts of things. And and then just over time, I had actually sold an agency that I owned, moved to a new state with my family, and took over an agency here in Idaho where we live today. I then joined a marketing group, which really opened my eyes to some of the technology options that just weren't being talked about in the insurance space, predominantly in CRMs. And CRMs is what really led me into automation. I ended up working very closely with a startup at the time, a CRM company that was only 3 years old that was purchased by Vertifor. It's the primary platform that we work on today. And through that, have helped insurance agents create processes, systems, and automation. I only started doing it because other insurance agents started asking me. I'm
Hmm.
a sharer. Like, I just love to share things that make my life better and easier and help people. So I was sharing all about this CRM that was helping my insurance agency grow and allowing me to manage my people better, reach my prospects and my customers better. And insurance agents were asking me for help. I said no for months. Then the founder of the company asked me to help more on an official capacity. I also told him no. I just had a business and I had little kids. Like, I didn't have time for extra things. I prayed about it a lot, and ultimately, God was opening a door, showing me an area where I had a passion and a skill. And I finally said yes to a couple of agents, and everything has just been a whirlwind since. I helped a handful of people that I knew, and now we've helped over 850 agencies nationwide, independent, captive, all sizes. We have 15 team members here, and I sold my agency 2 years ago because all we do is automation, predominantly in CRMs and more with additional systems, custom integrations, and AI. So I feel like we've just been drinking out of a fire hose for the last couple of years and have absolutely loved every minute of it.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about like for example, your day to day running the company. Tell us a little bit about what your day looks like, your week looks like, how you interact with your customers.
Yeah, gosh, I feel like every week's a little different, but at the end of the day, most of my time is spent either in meetings with clients or prospective clients, meetings with my team, working on cross training, working through projects with them, or with other software companies and vendors. I am in a lot of meetings and kind of funnel in new clients and new tools that our team can use. I do a lot of software vetting. We do a lot of testing of systems, but my team is the one who's delivering the services to our clients, making sure that their projects are being executed on, training them, those types of things. I also have an executive assistant who really helps make sure that all of the administrative pieces of the business run very smoothly, and a sales assistant to make sure that we have that consistent follow up. Over the last couple of months, we've been on our own journey at our company with our own internal systems, really perfecting them. As you guys all know, it's moving so fast. Actually, just before this meeting, I found out that the system we use is actually beta testing a conversational AI tool internal when we have been using an external one. So part of my time is also evaluating the tools that we use here, and my team will say to me, hey, this is taking us a while, or this is a bottleneck, or this is difficult. And one of the things I love to do is go find solutions to remove any obstacles they have, to just make their job as easy as possible. Not as easy as possible, but I guess I should say that they can be as efficient as possible. And that is what has allowed us to really help so many customers and scale, is through our processes and efficiencies. So I am meeting with people, team members, clients, prospective clients, or I'm basically playing with software. That's kind of what I do.
What, if you would share, have you had any challenges or opportunities for growth in your career journey that would be helpful or inspirational to young entrepreneurs or other fellow CEOs?
Challenges and yeah, I mean all of those things, so many of them, right? We could probably write a whole book on those things alone. Challenges have always been taking when you start a business, when you're the expert, you kind of know everything, you do everything. That's how it started. It was just me. And then I hired,
Mhm.
one person and one more, and I kept going. The transfer of knowledge is always challenging, and training. And AI has been hugely beneficial for us in that way. We've always, worked on having like a company intranet where we store information, where team members can review things. We have been a huge proponent of recording the things that you know how to do early on. So we have a giant library like of Loom videos of things
Mhm.
that I might know how to do or another team member might know how to do, and we record those and put those into our video training libraries so that anyone on our team can find that information and learn it quickly. So that has really helped me from a scaling perspective, trying to replicate myself and hand off tasks. Every time we make one of those videos, we work really hard to keep it organized in our company internet to make sure that it's easy to be found. And then with AI over the last couple of years, we've been able to create like databases of knowledge that are easy to interact with. So Notebook LM has been great. Obviously, ChatGPT, custom GPTs that you train on your company,
Mhm.
those types of things. But in any business I've had, whether it be any of my insurance agencies, because I technically had two, and then this business as well, it's always that transfer of knowledge that's been challenging. And those are some of the tools that we've used to help us get past that. And then I would just say is as well, like really great systems that you can track progress and accountability. So many of the businesses that we talk to, when we ask how their team is doing, either around sales metrics or even customer service or fulfillment, whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish, they are guessing. I
Mhm.
get a lot of, I'll say, what is your closing ratio? And they say, oh, I think it's good, probably at least 40% or 50%. And I say, where are you getting that number? And they say, well, I think that's what it is. I don't really know. And the vast majority of the time, once we implement a process and a system and they track it, it's nowhere near what they thought. So those are the things like that have really helped us, the challenges of transfer of knowledge, but also the tracking of activities and being able to see what really is working, kind of pulling back that veil on the business and diving into that.
And so Agency Zoom is where you focus a lot of your attention. It's probably the number one service you provide.
Yeah, so we build that out. That's the platform that we prefer, the
Yeah.
CRM.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about that? And if I say I'm an independent agent or I have my own insurance brokerage, why would I want to come to you? And what are some of the highlights of Agency Zoom that could help me, if you just name a handful?
Yeah. So Agency Zoom, some of the things that are really beneficial today, Vertifor did acquire them a few years ago, and the stability of the platform is huge. So in the 6 years that I've been in the CRM and InsurTech space, I have seen countless software systems come in and out of the market, and that is really difficult. So when you're considering a platform, you do want to look at the stability of the company. There are so many new, even when it comes to AI, right? There's so many new AI solutions and
Yeah.
many that we kind of worked with early on that aren't even in business today.
Right.
Keep that in
Right.
mind. Be really careful. Be mindful of the size of your business. If you want to go with something smaller, like you got to be aware that that could maybe not be around. So the stability of Agency Zoom powered by Vertifor is a huge advantage because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to Agency Zoom, one of the things that we love about it is that all of the advancements, the updates, the changes, because they're constantly improving it every single month, and then every quarter they have a really big update. Like just recently, they launched their DocuSign integration, which has been huge for insurance agents with
Hmm.
all of the documents that we have to manage, and do digital signatures with. The fact that they're consistently investing in the product and improving it, but all of those updates come from users, and that's been from day one of the company. They really listen to their users. I have used other systems. We have spent a lot of time in other platforms as our clients will ask us to and research or compare them. And unfortunately, there's a lot of gaps and holes in those systems because they're not really listening to their user. They're more kind of throwing features at people
Right.
without really solidifying a lot of the foundational pieces that a CRM needs. So, a CRM in general, and an Agency Zoom included in this, is going to help you stay organized, very visual processes using something like a Kanban view so you can see exactly where your leads and your customer service are at in processes, as well as having the ability to automate outbound communications. So when we ask people what their follow-up process is, it's usually, well, I'll call once or twice and then, I don't really have time. I'm on to the next person. Where
Yeah.
we want to build out automation that follows up with prospects and customers for up to 6 weeks because we know timing can just be everything and you've got to have
Sure.
that consistent ask for those high close ratios. So those are some of the core functions. It does so many things: compensation tracking, revenue tracking, reports. And the biggest benefit I have with Agency Zoom, or the biggest thing I see as a benefit to agents, is that it also has a customer service functionality.
Mm.
I have talked to hundreds of insurance agencies that grow, up 5 million, 7, 8, 9, 10 million in revenue, and they'll stagnate their profit margin because they have to have so many people to service the customers. And that is a real problem. But Agency Zoom is one of the only CRMs that has an actual customer service functionality built in to help with that piece, help automating. So you can not only sell and service in the same platform, huge advantage.
So claims, things
Claims
like
follow
that.
up, renewals, seeing all your renewals across all of your carriers, regardless of whether they download through Ivans or if they're in your AMS, really being able to see your whole book. You can break that out by line of business or put everything in one place. You can designate who in your team is responsible for what types of customer service and really see if they're on task, if they are behind. And it not only allows you to organize and add automation, but it gives you reports. So, how many billing issues did you actually have in your agency last month? How many claims were filed for home insurance with Safeco as the carrier, for example? How many missing documents or inspections or audits? You can actually see the volume of these types of requests. I never knew what my customer service team did in my agency. Most of them had a legal pad. They kept everything on a notepad. And you want to talk about being able to use AI? You can't do anything with AI when it's on paper, right? It's just impossible. But if you can get it into a system and it's digitized and you can see what's going on in the business, you can make really good decisions about your hiring, your training, your efficiencies, your self service options. It is a huge advantage for businesses that want to scale.
So if I am, as far as your ideal client, if I'm an individual, like a sole proprietor, or if I'm a larger brokerage, like tell me where we would fit you in, depending on the size and scope of my business.
Yeah, so we have a variety of different services, and kind of because of that, because our clients are pretty diverse. I would say the ideal client that we really work with is agencies over 1 million in revenue, right between $1 to $3 million in revenue, who
Okay.
are looking to build foundational systems, implement these processes, and really get clarity so they can continue to scale. But
Yeah.
we have worked with agencies who are opening their doors like next month. We actually have a client in training right now. He just opened his agency in November, but he came from another industry. He actually came from like furniture sales. and it got into insurance through family. And he knew that the processes and the systems were really key to the success of the business. So we have worked with businesses of all sizes, and we have solutions for you along your journey. So you can start with us small and you wouldn't outgrow our services either. We have a tech ops service that really works across all of your platforms and solutions, creating standard operating procedures, delivering training, building custom integrations. And we are that way because I started as a small agent. I started scratch. And so it's really like a personal struggle for me to write off those agents. There are so many
Mm,
great agents. So many companies do that when they get to a certain size, right? They're like, you don't qualify. We don't want to work with you. You're too
yeah,
small. That's hard for me because there's so many great entrepreneurs who just need the right support and the right tools to get there.
yeah.
So I don't think that we'll ever like turn away, small agents. We'll always have resources available for them.
And you've seen just as far as small or large, the type of feedback you're getting from your clients, like what's a success story you've heard from your clients? Just I'm sure there's many, many, but as
Yeah.
far as what you did to help them grow their business.
Yeah, so many success stories. So we see closing ratios on average reported to increase by 58% for sales, which is phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
We have been able to see a lot of cultural changes in agencies. So one of our tech ops clients most recently had sent me an email he said, I just look at my business in a completely different way now because he came from a sales role. And that's very common. Most insurance agency owners are kind of traditionally like insurance producers, right? They're
Yeah.
selling insurance as their
Yeah.
first role, and then they're kind of learning how to become a business owner. And by creating processes and systems, it helps them to develop more of that business owner skill and
Yeah.
think about on a scalability mindset versus individual production. So he had sent me this great email saying that he's like, I look at my business completely different now. I'm always looking, for ways to optimize and standardize processes. We also have an agent right now who I absolutely love. She is has been working with us for the last year, and she is on track to make her president's council for the first time ever in her agency history. And that's huge. That puts her at the top 1% of her. She's a captive agent of her captive carriers. She's working on a couple final requirements that we helped her with a project on getting some automation around writing some more business auto insurance for her metrics. But she is on track to be president's council, which is so exciting. And
Wow.
those are the types of stories that we absolutely love. We have collected hundreds of testimonials and reviews from our clients, and their stories range. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they get to see that lift and make better educated decisions on their business because it's not hidden behind the mirror or the veil, I guess, if you will, of kind of that vagueness that exists without really good systems.
So it sounds like you have options if I'm a one man shop or if I'm a larger brokerage, you can find a solution to fit my.
Yeah, right now, the largest agency that we've ever worked with had 8 locations and just over 50 employees.
Okay.
So that's the largest that we've worked with. And then everything, yeah, down to a one man shop for sure. Those agency owners who, you're in the grind every day and you want to be a business owner and maybe not a producer.
Right.
And you're looking for a way to replicate yourself, and doing that through processes and technology is one of the easiest ways and fastest ways to replicate yourself.
Yeah, and I think so much and I am a salesperson, my other life, I work in insurance too. I think so much is around organization because you're already running in a million different directions every day. And it's interesting to hear your client saying a different way to look at their business sounds to me like organizing yourself a lot. And like you said, duplicating yourself, making, your time is super valuable. So
Yeah.
basically streamlining the process, probably as a salesperson, one of the most important things you can do for yourself is streamlining organization, time, you know, being conscious of your time, where it's spent. So it sounds like you guys do all of the above and
Yeah.
more.
It is. I mean, people think of a CRM as like another tool in their business,
Yeah.
but a really good CRM, and this is in any business. This what doesn't mean if you're insurance, you could be, selling stocks, you could be doing anything. If you don't understand who are your prospects, where are your customers at, where are they at in the buying cycle, what is your team doing, how often are you reaching these people, and then what's going on with your customers as far as like repeat buyers or retention, you're just flying blind. And a really great CRM answers all of those questions and solves all those problems. But they do take time. They take time to learn and to
Mm.
build. We've recently spent a ton of time in Go High Level and in Monday It's a CRM and a project management platform, as well as other tools like we spent tons of time in Pipedrive and other insurance CRMs as well. But diving into those tools, they all have similarities, but they all operate differently. And if you don't have a good, robust knowledge, you could be building out kind of a mess, like kind of a complex mess that isn't going to give you really the answers that you're looking for. Even us as an automation company, when we go and look to work in a new system, we hire consultants. Like we want to learn from others. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to
Right.
get that information, use the training resources. Worked with agents that have spent 2, 3, 4, 5 years in agency Zoom, and it's still not doing what they want
Mm,
because they have a business to run. They're not CRM experts, they're not copywriters, automation experts. There's a lot that goes into it.
yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that getting into it. When I got my first CRM, like we made so many mistakes in agency Zoom. I sent the wrong automation to countless clients over and over. And that's why I sold my agency, because to do this really well, it needs our full focus.
Laser focus. Yeah,
Yep.
I could see that. So just in terms of growing your business, what does it look like for the next, like, if 5 years for you? How are you growing? How are you scaling?
Yeah, so we've grown every single year that we've been in business. By the grace of God, it's been amazing. And we are always looking to innovate new solutions. We are in the process of developing some software solutions. So right now, our company owns no software. We just work between the software and the user. But there are some big gaps that we've discovered that some of these companies aren't solving. So we are going to be jumping into that into the new year. So you'll see some of those solutions being coming from us. But in general, our company is growing a lot through word of mouth, and which we love, and then repeat customers. Like that has always been really surprising to me. Once agency owners really see the foundation of the CRM, they want to continue to stack their technology to continue on their journey of efficiency and clarity. And that's where AI is coming in more and more. If you've got a really good foundation and you've got good information, you can lay AI over top of that and do
Right.
a lot with it. Don't have the foundation, I would I would discourage anyone from jumping straight to an AI solution, because you got to have the basics. Like, you can't put a roof on a house before you put the foundation on. So get your foundation and have that clear system and process, and then the AI can really work hard for you because it knows what you're trying to accomplish.
Right. Right. So for other founders and product leaders, what advice would you give them about integrating AI into their development process?
Oh man, don't move too quickly. Really take your time. I have played with so many different AI solutions, and I've made the mistake every now and then of rolling them out too early to my team and saying, "Hey, this is what we're going to do." And then as I dive into it more and we utilize it more, I realize there's gaps, or it doesn't quite solve the problem that we thought it would. So I really encourage people to slow down when they
Mhm.
choose software. Spend time in it, maybe roll it out to one or two key team members, make sure that they spend time utilizing it, and utilize those free trials, like dedicate the time,
Mm.
and then create your processes and roll it out. Do some vetting of the companies as well. Like I mentioned, there is so many AI companies. I swear it's like flavor of the month. There's a new one every like week, it seems like at this point. You want to look at the stability. How are they funded? How long have they been in business? Are they going to be around? Because making
Yeah.
these investments, like AI gets better the more you use it, the more you train it, the more it understands about your business. And if you have to start over again, it's quite the journey. It can be quite the step back. So that's where I've made mistakes, is moving a little bit too quickly. I get really excited about tech. So we've started to really slow down and do our homework, and then make sure you're utilizing all of the tool. A lot of the systems you guys probably already have in your business have way more functionality than you're even taking advantage of. So
Mm.
before you go look for other tools to solve a problem, make sure you do a deep dive into the tools you have first to see if that can help you with your problem first.
I want to just kind of wrap it up in saying that you've obviously been in the industry for a long time. You're using a lot of tools as it is. But for people that are not in your space in general, like insurance or brokers, what words of wisdom could you give the viewers for where to use AI in their business? And if somebody wants to scale their business and it's not in your vertical, what words of wisdom would you give to them on a more general sense?
Yeah, I would say, as far as using AI to solve problems in your business, listen to your people, and remember that everything starts with people. Like you can add AI, and AI can increase efficiency, but at this point, there's very little of totally replacing your team or people in general. And one of the biggest mistakes I made early on was not investing enough in the people that I had and their knowledge base.
Okay.
So set the bar high for your people and then use AI and other tools to remove what takes time for them to do or what knowledge do they need to have access to really quickly and regularly, and use AI for that, and then vet your companies really well. One of the things that has helped us the most, so my particular role, we are in Zoom meetings all day because
Hmm.
we're all remote. So whether your team is in person or remote, we record almost everything. We use a platform called Avoma, which I love. It has coaching, it has so many things embedded in it, and we can all access each other's meetings because that's key, because information sharing and expertise is key in our industry. So find what makes you guys really unique in your business and
Hmm.
what knowledge you need to share. Find ways to capture that and distribute it to your team, and just constantly looking for ways to remove obstacles. Making them more effective will grow your business.
Perfect. I love that. So, where can we find you online? Let us know.
acceleratedautomation.net. And I'm all over social media, Mariah Gates on LinkedIn, Facebook, every platform, and company pages as well. But yeah, go to our website. You can reach out to us there, and would love to talk to you about your agency.
Thank you so much, Mariah. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Liz. It was a
Okay.
pleasure.